speaks the language. It was 25 years ago that Calgary had perhaps its greatest moment in sports, the 1988 Winter Olympics. The eyes of the world were on the city. Thousands of volunteers made Calgary shine, and the legacy of those games lives on. As Francis Silvaggio reports, today they were reminiscing in Calgary and keeping the spirit alive.
Christina Groves remembers being 11 years old and filling out 20 ballots for a chance to carry the Olympic torch. Her name was never drawn, but 25 years after the Olympic torch entered Calgary's McMahon Stadium for the start of the 15th Winter Olympic Games, the four-time Olympic medalist's dream finally came true.
I was so captivated by the Olympics, and even though I didn't run with it when I was 11, it spurred me on to discover speed skating.
The Olympic spirit captivated an entire nation, more than organizers could ever have imagined.
11 million applications came in, and out of those 11 million, we selected 10,000 runners.
The torch came to symbolize the fire the 88 Games ignited not just in Calgary, but across the country and around the world.
If the Frank of today told the Frank of 25 years ago that this is what it would look like, I would say, I have a hard time believing you.
The Calgary Games set a new standard for the Olympics, becoming the longest, most televised and profitable Winter Olympics at the time. It was also the first time ever speed skating was held indoors. The Olympic Oval still stands today. In fact, with more than 270 records set on this track, the Oval is still considered one of the fastest in the world, and one of the reasons Canadian winter athletes have been so successful ever since.
The pathway to Vancouver was through Calgary. It was through the Olympic Oval. It was through Canmore. It was through the sliding track at COP. It was through the local ski hills here. Without those, so without 1988, we would have been competitive, but we wouldn't have been number one.
Canadian athletes won 5 medals in Calgary. 22 years later, they won 26, including 14 gold. Christina Groves won 2 medals in Vancouver and says thanks to the Calgary Games, the fire still burns.
It's the torch, you pass it on, and I think that's what's sort of been really great for me over these years, is that you do pass the torch on, and that next generation is just waiting to become the next world champion.
Francis Silvaggio, Global News, Calgary.